afternoon and welcome to the Melbourne Sports and Entertainment Centre for the 6th and final test in the Wang Super Challenge between Australia and the USSR. Coming into today's final test, the Soviet Union has a rather handy lead of 5-0, but a very exciting test in Sydney last night. The 5th test saw the Australians get within 4 points of the Soviets with just 6 minutes on the clock. There are the details of last night's game. Soviet Union 103, Australia 91. Raimondas Marcellinas, the point guard, was the top scorer in last night's match. He's top scored in most of the matches in this series. Alexander Volkov, Tikhonenko and Kamikas were also featuring in the scoring for the Russians. For Australia, Daryl Pearce with 4 3-pointers really put the Aussies in the game late in the second half. He finished up our top scorer with 22 points. Paul Kuiper from Westside Melbourne scored 17 despite fouling out with some minutes still on the clock, and Larry Sangstock contributed 11. Let's look at the actual point scoring over the entire series, and really the shooting for the Russians has been really one of their trump cards. They've been shooting an average of 53% compared to Australia's 43%. For Australia, the best shooter has been Ray Borner with 77. Andrew Gay is a bit of a quiet test for the top scorer in the NBL last night. He has 73, Paul Kuiper 61, and Daryl Pearce, courtesy of a top performance last night, has moved into the Australian top scoring list with 51. For the Soviet Union, it's that incredible athletic 23-year-old Raimondas Marcellinas who heads their scoring and heads the scoring for the entire series by quite a lead. He has 115 points in total. Alexander Volkov 75, captain Kamikas 72, and Tikhonenko has 58. There's some problems in the Australian lineup for today's test. Unfortunately, we're going to be without our captain Phil Smythe, number 6 for the Australians, who twisted his ankle in last night's test at the Sydney Entertainment Centre, and although he's out here for the game, he won't be taking any part. Robert Sibley from the Brisbane Bullets was also injured last night in a National League match for the Brisbane Bullets, and so coming into the Australian starting 5 will be Wayne Carroll taking over from Phil Smythe, and Robert Sibley, who was going to be one of the bench players, will just, I guess, decrease the Australian bench strength a little bit. For the Soviet Union, the starting 5 will probably be much the same as Gomelsky has gone with throughout the series, although being the Silver Fox, he is saying that he hasn't quite made up his mind yet, but it looks as if it will be Alexander Volkov, Tij Sok, Valery Tikhonenko, Raimondas Marcellinas, and the big man Vladimir Tkachenko. So there you have it, the lineups for today's game. The teams are out here warming up on the court in front of a very good crowd here, a full house at the Glass House. Our commentators for today's match will be Phil Lynch and Bob Turner. They'll be back with the description of the tip-off after this break.
Toto on Rock Anthems, 20 classic tracks that rocked a generation. With Meatloaf, Free, Boston, Status Quo, Elton John. The classic Canned Heat.
On the road again.
Rock Anthems with Steppenwolf. Backman Turner Overdrive. Dave Edmonds, Santana, Joe Walsh, and the great Joe Cocker.
But it sure feels like madness.
Mark Bolan and T-Rex. Rock Anthems with Spencer Davis. The Mighty Kinks. Rock Anthems, 20 original classic tracks that'll take you back, out now from Concept.
Want to make more money? Yes, everybody does. Then come here, come ask, come learn from this man, Noel Whittaker, Australia's fastest selling author. His book, Making Money Made Simple. He's coming to Hobart. When? Wednesday, the 2nd of September. Where? The fabulous new Sheraton Hotel. Be there and be part of the first seminar convention at this brand new hotel. What do you get? Answers to your money problems, and the ticket price includes a copy of his book. Be quick, book now, limited seating.
Game number 6 in the Wang Super Challenge, and the Glass House in Melbourne is absolutely jam-packed. Bob Turner, that's been a feature of the series so far.
Well, it really has, Phil. Last night in Sydney, of course, the biggest crowd ever to watch a game in that city. As the Sydney Entertainment Centre were thrilled to a really great game. In Perth, they had the biggest crowd they've ever seen to watch a basketball game. and it's really helped captivate the game for the country of Australia.
And the celebrities that come out, there's Premier John Cain and Opposition Leader Jeff Kennett in deep conversation at the moment. So basketball has brought the two opposing political parties together, and they're all ready, sitting back, ready to enjoy the game. And this super crowd awaiting the sixth game. Of course, you heard Australia lost the first 5. There's Maxie Walker, well known in cricket circles, and Max is out, loves his basketball too. But even though Australia's lost those first 5 games, Bob, all the players came out in the court with their heads high because they've done a great job in this series so far.
Well, we've said throughout the season, throughout the series, that the reason for the series #1 was to help profile the Australians in their own country. That's been done. The second thing was to prepare them for the Oceania qualifications, which comes up in a week's time. They go to New Zealand. They must defeat New Zealand in order to qualify for the Seoul Olympics. That's been done because this series has really provided some top, highly intense basketball action.
And of course, putting this thing in perspective, the Soviet Union, the #2 team in the world. Australia have been around in the top 10 in the last decade or so, and it is just so tough to inch your way up the international ladder to get up amongst these superpowers like the Soviet Union. There's big 7'3" Vladimir Tyshenko to take the jump, and the Australian captain leading Australia on his own today, the co-captain of the team, Larry Sengstock, with Phil Smythe out of the game today. And Debbie Spillane down there on the sideline. Debbie, Phil Smythe out of the team, as you mentioned. You've got some late news on him.
Yes, Phil says that he would have actually been prepared to play himself, but the team doctor ruled him out, and he's very confident of being able to take part in the series against New Zealand starting next week. He said if he'd had his way, he would have actually played himself today.
Volkov to take the jump against Ray Borner, and both teams changing the lineups in this particular one, with Vietra in the backcourt, with Kumicius, the captain of the Soviet team for the Soviet team, and Wayne Carroll taking the place of Phil Smythe in the backcourt for the Australians. And the Australians, the first touch of the ball. Ray Borner, who's had a great series so far. Kuiper from outside, a long way from the hoop for Kuiper, too far. But Andrew Gaze rounds up the rebound, takes it out beyond the three-point line. Just couldn't make the shot as Tarakanov rounds it up to the Soviet Union. Kumicius quickly down court. Vietra in the corner. And both teams having trouble scoring, but Tarakanov on the boards, and Borner and Volkov fighting for that one, but Borner winning and sends it away to Wayne Carroll. And Carroll run down in the corner by Vietra. Borner quickly outside to Larry Sengstock to settle play for Australia.
And this has been a feature of the games that have gone on so far, Phil. The Soviet Union loves to get that ball at the floor, and it looks like to me the Australians are looking to break a little bit more tonight.
Yes, well, this is the Australians' last chance to post a win. Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if they could? Sengstock looked at the shot. There's a three-pointer here for Wayne Carroll. And down it goes. Wayne Carroll to start the game, isn't it? Gives Australia the lead, of course, playing on his home court here, the Glass House, the home court of the North Melbourne Giants.
Well, he's played a few games here. Look out.
Tashenko with the big hook. Down it goes. That is a great shot. That hook shot came from about 11 or 12 feet there.
He holds that ball in his hand like it's a little pea. It just gets a little hook to drop in.
3 points to 2. Australia in front as Borner has it for the Aussies. Outside shot can come out. Big dump inside from Sengstock, but the foul is called against Vietra. No basket, I would think. Let's see. I don't think they'll award the basket.
And this crowd here today, Phil, a very astute basketball crowd. Melbourne, a very strong basketball city. As you see the replay here, nice pass from Larry Sengstock to Paul Kuiper, and a foul in there to Vietra.
Yes.
But the crowd here is enjoying the game so far, and they are very appreciative of good basketball, and it'll be interesting to see how they go throughout this 40-minute game.
So the Soviets, as the Australians, in man-to-man defense, and there's Borner, who's making his way to the hoop and scoring. So taking up where he left off in the early part of the series. 5 points to 2 Australia. Their best start yet.
He's been the player of the series so far, Phil, averaging 16 points and 9 rebounds a game.
And there's the Australians fighting each other on the boards. A loose ball comes to Carroll. Borner down the floor very quickly. There he is in the corner and makes the shot. Just couldn't quite make it. The tip that didn't quite connect for Andrew Gaze. Away comes the Soviets. Tarakanov heads for the hoop. Straight into Larry Sengstock and a charging foul called on Tarakanov.
Tarakanov here, he's been a feature of the series as well, Phil. The referee from the Soviet Union, #1 in Europe. As you see, Larry Sengstock here got good position. Tarakanov made the contact, so picks up the foul.
And there's plenty of Aussies back there on defense because it was Kuiper who forced Tarakanov to change direction, and Sengstock was waiting for him. So Sengstock running the baseline now as Kuiper has it out high. Carroll outside the three-point line, dishes inside to Andrew Gaze. Blocked by Tashenko. And away comes the Soviet Union, but they lose it. Vietra just losing the handle on the ball, gives it back to Australia, and it's Andrew Gaze. So a chance here for the Aussies to pinch a good break. 5 points to 2 underneath the Kuiper. Blocked there by Tarakanov, and away comes Komicius, leading the break. Borna to beat. Oh, big spin. Komicius. And the rebound is grabbed by Borna. So the Australians back up the floor quickly on defense. And advancing the ball fairly quickly too, because they got it in the hands of Gaze in a hurry.
Someone better tell these teams, Phil, that they've played 5 games already. They're going to get tired quick.
Andrew Gaze taking the baseline drive and the second foul against Vietra. So the foul there called by referee Michael Davidov, and 2 fouls on Vietra in a hurry. Have a look at it again as Gaze opts to take the baseline side. The screen was set high side, Gaze went the other, and Vietra just didn't have the legs to go with him. 3-point shot from Wayne Carroll that just hits the front of the rim, tipped down there by Borna, and that's a Soviet ball in the backcourt.
That's right, Borna working hard again. He really has given his all this whole series.
Inside Komicius is that little extra hop at the end that looks markedly like a travel to me when he does it.
The Australians are getting the numbers as you get Ray Borna. So really getting the numbers on the break each time down the floor.
And there's a foul on Andrew Gaze. Vietra taking him on, so showing him some pace. And yeah, it's going the other way. The Aussies showing they've got a fast break too, Bob.
Well, they really do. That's 2 buckets out of the 7 points that they have that have come off the fast break, plus a lot of attempts. So if they can keep it up, good job.
7-2 Australia. Komicius opened up there for him, arched high up the glass over the back. Volkov beats Borna to the rebound and scores. So Alexander Volkov, who does such a great job on the offensive glass, scoring for the Soviets.
Borna again.
Borna backs away against Tashenko, but the foul is against Vietra, and that's number 3.
Well, he hasn't started in this series so far. Gamelski giving him an opportunity to show what he can do. And unfortunate for Vietra, he's picked up 3 in a row. But Ray Borna off on the break again. He's been down each time down the floor. Tashenko there providing a lot of size, and Vietra got a hand on the arm of Ray Borna.
And Ray Borna missing off the stripe there. And Borna, who is shooting 77% from the line so far, makes 1 of 2.
And that's been a feature that's really hurt the Australians. Their free throw percentage on the series, they're shooting 65% from the line. The Soviets shooting 79%. So not really taking advantage of the free shots that they've got.
Foul call against Wayne Carroll there. So the foul count, 4 against the Soviet Union, 2 against Australia. And the Soviets have the ball in the front court. It's Tarakanov to inbound. Big screen there being set by Tashenko to try and get rid of Wayne Carroll. There it is again.
It's a brick wall.
Inside on the screen and roll, and Carroll with a great defensive job to come back and get it. Andrew Gaze dump off to This is a great start from Australia. Have a look at it again if we can. Look at the dump off from Andrew Gaze to Paul Kuiper. Gets the feet set up underneath him, and down through the chute. 3-point shot from Vietra. So he's been left in the game and making use of his court time too by hanging in 3 from the outside. 10 points to 7. Oh, Carroll there.
Well,
looked like he was going to let go of the pass.
By Paul Kuiper there, Phil, would have made the Daredevils happy.
And the hand in the back there from Tashenko gets rid of Ray Borna. Outside to Sengstock as the Australians keep it alive. Wayne Carroll down the middle, a dump off there, looking for Sengstock, pumps into the air and was talked out of that, threw the ball out of bounds.
Look out, they got numbers down the other end.
Away to Volkov, Tarakanov waiting for it underneath the hoop. They didn't go to him, but he has to back it off as the Australians come back on defense now. Here's the rest of the Soviets slowly up court. Vietra late on the scene, as was Tashenko, and that's a foul against Andrew Gaze. So Andrew Gaze's second personal foul.
He almost had that position there, Phil, but just leaning a little bit and picked up the blocking foul.
So Komicius had a fake at a 3-pointer from a long way out, but